All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a technology that is, on one hand, incredibly simple, but on the other, just unbelievably powerful. This is the unseen force that literally keeps our modern industrial world moving, and it does it with one of our planet's most basic elements, but in a way you've probably never even thought of. I mean, just think about that for a second. The entire global energy sector. It's like this massive circulatory system, right? Thousands upon thousands of miles of pipelines, gigantic tanks, super complex machinery. But what happens when those vital arteries start to get clogged up? You might think the solution is some crazy chemical concoction or just brute mechanical force. But nope, the answer is water. But look, this is not the water that comes out of your kitchen tap. This is water that's been transformed into an industrial tool with an almost unbelievable amount of power. To really get why this solution is so incredible, we first need to appreciate just how big the problem is. See, inside this huge industrial network, there is a constant, never-ending battle being fought against all sorts of blockages. Every single one of these components is at risk. Over time, stuff like scale, wax, rust, and this really heavy sludge just builds up and builds up, literally choking the flow of resources. And this isn't just about being less efficient. It actually threatens the structural integrity of the whole system. It's a constant hidden crisis happening right under our noses. So how in the world do you fight something like that? Well, you do it by unleashing water's raw, hidden potential. And that brings us right to the heart of what we're talking about today, high-pressure jetting. Okay, so this definition has the key. High-pressure jetting, or HPJ for short, uses this super focused stream of highly pressurized water to just obliterate blockages. But here's the real magic. It's powerful enough to blast through the toughest gunk imaginable, but it's also so precise that it leaves the actual pipe or tank, the parent metal, completely unharmed. And I really want to hammer this point home. The secret ingredient, the thing that changes everything, is the pressure. We're talking about forces so extreme, they completely change the properties of water, turning it from, a gentle liquid into a precision-cutting tool. Now check this out. What's so cool here is how scalable it is. This is not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. You can see the pressure is attuned exactly to the job. So for some light flushing, you might be at, say, 5,000 psi. Cleaning out a major pipeline, now you're cranking it up to 20,000 psi. And for the really tough jobs, like cutting through solid scale, well, you ramp it all the way up. Just let that number sink in for a minute. 40,000 pounds per square inch. That is a staggering amount of force, all focused into a tiny jet of water. At this pressure, water doesn't just clean anymore. It cuts. It can literally slice through solid steel and concrete, and it does it without creating any sparks or heat. That right there is an absolute game changer. Okay, so how does this all actually work out in the field? I mean, what does it take to control that kind of power safely and get the job done right? Let's break down the anatomy of a water jetting operation. This is the essential gear. You've got the high-pressure pumps. Those are the heart of the whole system. They create the force. Then you've got the specialized nozzles. Those are the brains, shaping that water jet for whatever task you need. And absolutely critical, you have serious safety gear, like suits reinforced with Kevlar. Because let's be real, when you're working with this kind of pressure, safety is everything. And this shows you perfectly that HPJ is a highly engineered, methodical process. It is not just pointing a powerful hose and spraying wildly. First, you assess the problem. Then, you actually design the solution. You calculate the exact pressure, the flow, the nozzle you need. The execution itself is carefully controlled and monitored in real time. And finally, you verify the work to make sure it's a perfect clean. It really is a science. So now let's get to the fun stuff and see how this all comes together in some truly incredible real-world applications. The sheer versatility of this one technology is what makes it so essential across the entire energy sector. First up, the big one, pipelines. Remember those clogged arteries we were talking about? HPJ is the angioplasty. It just scours the internal walls, removing every last bit of that buildup and restoring the pipeline back to its original flow capacity. That's huge for efficiency and for making sure inspections are accurate. Next up, heat exchangers. You can think of these as the radiators for industrial plants. When they get caked with scale and gunk, they can't transfer heat properly. HPJ blasts them totally clean, which directly improves efficiency and, get this, saves a massive amount of energy. Now, for the enormous jobs like cleaning out a giant crude oil tank, you bring in the robots. These remotely operated 3D rotary nozzles go inside and just methodically strip away layers and layers of heavy sludge from every single surface. It's a job that would be insanely dangerous and almost impossible to do by hand. And this right here might be the most revolutionary application of all, cold cutting. Just look at this comparison. Traditional hot cutting with a torch creates sparks, a huge, unacceptable fire risk in an oil and gas facility. But a water jet? It's cold. It creates zero sparks, zero heat, and it doesn't even warp the metal. It means you can safely cut through solid steel in the most hazardous environments imaginable. So, when you put it all together, the advantages of using high-pressure water just become crystal clear. This is way more than just a cleaning method. It's a strategic, essential maintenance tool. And here's the bottom line, the summary of why this tech is just so dominant. First off, it's environmentally safe. It's just water, no nasty chemicals creating hazardous waste. It's non-abrasive, so it protects the very asset it's cleaning. It's also wicked fast and efficient, which minimizes downtime. And as we've seen, its versatility is just off the charts. But the big one, the most important one, is that it is fundamentally safer, completely eliminating the risk of fire. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? For any industry that relies on the integrity of its equipment, HPG isn't just a nice little service to have, it is absolutely critical. It's fundamental to their safety, their productivity, and the long-term health of everything they operate. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In a world filled with ridiculously complex engineering and high-stakes operations, isn't it fascinating that one of the most effective and powerful tools we have comes from just harnessing the raw, focused power of something as simple and as fundamental as water?